there, this is ArtsyWisdom. My name is Diane. Thanks for coming by. I just got done watching the New Hampshire primary results. It's later in the evening, and the projected winner is Donald Trump. And I got some images about that. I surprisingly might be dessert related. I don't know. I thought I'd share those with you and some of the future things that I'm seeing with him. Also, I was drawn or called to look into those two sailors, two Navy SEALs actually, who one fell into the water in the Red Sea when they were boarding a ship, and the other Navy SEAL went after him, and they both are presumed dead at this point. So I looked into their situation. And I also had some other miscellaneous things I wanted to share with you. And I wanted to say thank you to all my new subscribers and people who just stopped by and viewed for a little bit. Thank you. I'm very appreciative of all my new viewers, subscribers, comments. And I know I'm getting quite a few people from around the world, which is awesome, and a lot of suggestions. So I will be doing a new video. I am starting a mural project in a couple days, so my time is going to be limited, but I'm going to try and keep, doing these little videos, and I might share with you what I'm doing on my mural, and I'll take a little video of that to show you what I'm doing. But yeah, so the world stuff, the global stuff, I'm getting a lot of suggestions about doing different countries. I love that. So thank you. So any of that, anybody that's interested in doing those kind of things, please forward them to me. I'm happy to do that when I'm able to. Okay, so let's get started. So the primaries just got over, and they were projected in New Hampshire for Donald Trump, versus Nikki Haley, basically. There were some other small people, but DeSantis has just bowed out, which reminds me. So a couple weeks ago when I did a video, or maybe it was less than that, I saw him, last year, I saw him as this very, it's a donut. I saw Ron DeSantis as a donut, but made of poor ingredients, real chemically and fried in old oil, and his donut self wasn't good. It was just a bad donut. Anyway, I had seen her as a licorice whip. I know this sounds crazy, but that's where my mind goes. And she went through the hole and kind of, wrapped herself around him and pulled him apart. So that basically was accurate, even though I know he got a few more votes than her in Iowa. I think she was the ultimate victor in that regard. So, yeah, and I still imagine her as a licorice whip, and I don't know if it's the dark hair or, I don't know, maybe it's her teeth. I don't know. But I don't have any issue long-term with her. I'm fine. That's where I go. So if you haven't been here before, I see things in sort of desserts or other visuals, colors, shapes, feelings. So that's what I saw with her, is a long piece of black licorice. Well, also in the past, back to Donald Trump, back September, August, I think it was, I remember I did a video where I saw him, no desserts, I saw him spinning in like a circle, going down and down into the dirt, digging a hole, and his the people that love him and support his supporters, the MAGA people, whoever they are around him, but he kept digging himself a hole, going down, and they were trying to pull him out of it and say, come on, let's go, get out of the hole. But he was spinning and spinning. It sounds like he was a person, and maybe I should do some drawings on the wall behind me. I'm thinking about, so to have more visuals, or I can put more visuals. I haven't quite figured out how to do that. But Trump in a circle, and they couldn't pull him out, and he kept grinding himself like a kind of a weird auger bit kind of thing, where he's drilling himself into the ground, and he was like completely oblivious. And they were like, hello, and trying to hold his hands and help him get out of that. No, he wouldn't. So I'm remembering that as I think about him in this primary, now that he's pretty much, him and Nikki Haley are competing, and I just listened to her speech. And like I said, it's later in the evening, and she's going on. She's going to go on and keep, fighting in all the next states in the primaries. And I saw him, and it's funny, up until now, I haven't seen him as any kind of dessert, but I did. Okay, bear with me. I saw him as, in his original state, his original prime. He was a layered cake with cream between the layers, multiple layers, and I don't know what that would be called exactly, but there was orange zest in his cake, and there was an orange extract in the cake, so it was flavored orange. Then there was a chocolate fondant or a chocolate glaze, mirror glaze maybe, and then some gold flakes on top. There might be some other decoration on top, but it was poured, and there was multiple layers, so it was very high like this. That was him in his prime. I'm not a fan of orange and chocolate together, but neither here nor there. But that was his prime. In the most highest level of Trump when he was at his peak, right? So I saw that, but then more recently, almost like now, something happened where he was on the counter or on the top of the refrigerator or something where he was knocked off. Super cliche because he was knocked down kind of thing on the ground. But for the most part, he was still solid. He had a lot of parts that were together. But I saw Nikki Haley in her licorishness hitting him and trying to break him apart more. And he was more solid. He wasn't like a regular cake. It didn't fall apart, like a regular white cake would. And in the meantime, I see her, I don't know if anybody knows this, but when you eat a piece of licorice and you chew on it, it gets kind of soggy. Well, I saw the base of her getting soggy. So that tells me that she's losing her rigidity, her strength, her courage. I think I read she comes from a family of military people. So she's tenacious and strong and willful. In fact, a long time ago, I said she had a Pluto energy about her, which is that very dominant, very powerful kind of energy. But her base, not the people, but her licorice base is weakening. So she's losing her strength to kind of beat him up. And he's just too big. And he's just too, even though he's broken apart in lots of places, he's still kind of halfway solid. So I do think and I've said this before, he's going to get the nomination and he will move forward. I do see that in the fall. Well, March and April are going to be very difficult months for him. And I saw this before. Summer, there should be some relief. But then in the fall, September, October, oh my goodness, there's going to be trenches around the election. I saw Jack Smith put trenches around the election, and with those wood spikes like in World War I where they put it. So I don't know what that is exactly. It might be rules, laws, indictments, convictions. I don't know. But there's going to be some issues. I think he will get the nomination, but I think it's going to be the first time in our history where we're going to nominate, or the Republicans will nominate a candidate, and they won't be able to be electable because of convictions. And I don't know what that's going to look like exactly, but I see that happening. That's what the energies are right now. Time passes. I see time is also a spiral. The energy is around a spiral, so things can move across and around. But that's what the energy is right now. So, oh yeah, I wanted to say, so in the cake on the ground, i.e. Trump. I saw the meringue, which is Biden, because I said this in the past videos. Biden is a meringue where he's very fragile and he's crispy. And inside he's hollow, but not in a brain way, but more of a physical way. Because I think Biden's okay mentally, it's just physically. He's winding down. So I saw his meringue. So they're both, Trump is just bigger and fluffier, and Biden is thinner. And I mean, that's really relatable to their physique or whatever it is right now. So that maybe I'm just putting it in those categories. So on to these Navy SEALs. I wanted to know what happened with them. And I feel so sad for their family. And so I might even cry thinking about it. I have 3 sons, and I would hate, they grow up to be men, but you still, as a mom, you feel drawn to, you feel so sad for the parents of these young men because they commit themselves to the service of our country. And that comes above everything, their physical safety. And anyway, when my dad was a Marine, and before he died, because I went back there, and he was sick. He had cancer, and I helped take care of him with my other siblings, but I was there. And he wanted to watch the movie Taking Chance. It's about a Marine in the Iraq War in the early days, like 2004 maybe, where he dies. And he's from Wyoming, and Marines have a special way that they help their brothers, or sisters, I guess. They never let them be alone. As they're traveling back home. So there's a movie called Taking Chance. And actually Kevin Bacon plays I don't know if it's a corporal or the captain who escorts this boy home. He's 19 and he goes back to his family in Wyoming. And it just tells a story of that. How they take care of him and clean him and clean his uniform and really keep him in high regard. Even though he's passed away. Anyway. So, I'm thinking about those 2 Navy SEALs. Anyway, me and my dad had that moment with that movie because he was very proud of the Marines and it was beautiful. And so, thinking about those guys, I have their names here so I don't just say Navy SEALs. Christopher, I can't see through the tears, Christopher Chambers and Nathan Gage. Nathan Gage went down first, and then Christopher went after him. And I felt I didn't feel like somebody hit their head or anything. I just felt that they went down, and they were weighed down by gear. And Nathan said, I think in his mind, he thought, they don't want to, there's always that rule where they don't let one guy go or one soldier go. You always have to go get them. You don't leave them alone. So he didn't think of himself. He just went after him. Didn't even think about it. So I felt something with my head. I felt a confusion. I did feel like the second one, Christopher went to save Nathan. Christopher, I felt like he was the one that noticed he was drowning. I mean, it was fast. Don't stress that. It was fast, but I did feel like the first person felt like there was something with his brain. I don't know if it's oxygen or whatever, but I felt he got confused more than the drowning sensation. The second, Christopher went after Nathan, and I felt like he was trying to help him disassemble or get rid of things so they could pull him up together, so they could both go up together, but there wasn't enough time. They are somewhere on the bottom. They're tucked under something or near something that's... They will find them. But it's just really sad. And I just wanted to say thank you to all our servicemen and women who give their time and life to our country quietly, without fanfare. And I don't know if we appreciate that enough. Okay. All right. So back to this year. So 2024, Pluto and Aquarius. I know that's kind of a weird angle to change. Swift left turn. But I do think Pluto and Aquarius, it just changed on the 20th. And it's going to stay there until, I think, September 19th, I think, or September something. And this is going to dip back into Capricorn and go straight into Aquarius in November. And we will start to really feel the difference. Humanity and community and group mentality is going to supersede the individualistic. It doesn't mean we won't be individuals and have our individual freedoms and our voices, but there will be other priorities that will be equal or is equal or higher. The group, what's the best for everyone, and also technology, and I've said this before, that's all going to pick up speed, and some of it will be scary, but most of it will be for the higher and greater good, because humanity is ultimately, I think 90% of us, or 95%, are good humans. It's just those people who have issues in their egos kind of cause us all a lot of stress and fear. So I think that's it. So hopefully this wasn't too long, and my tearful blubberings didn't affect you too much. Yeah, so I will keep you updated on things that are happening. I'll do my best. If anything should happen in, the United States or whatever, I'm going to keep doing these shorter videos. And eventually, after I get done with my mural, I'll go back to my predictions for the world and everything. But it looks like this thing is going to take me about a week to 10 days. So, yeah. All right. All is well. Love and light. Take care. Till next time.